Okay, Ilgin? All right, yes. So thank you very much, everybody, for waiting, and a very warm welcome to the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. I am the president, and my name is Suvendrini Kakuchi. Today, of course, we have these superpowers with us, superstars. It's very, very special for the club. And we will be talking to them about their music and then why they're in Japan. And we will ask a few questions. That's the flow of the afternoon. It's just 1 hour. So, and also let me introduce the second vice president of the Foreign Correspondents Club, Ilgin Yormas. Yes. So we have two superpowers, and we will welcome them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving a big hand to our superstars this afternoon. Miss Sarah Brightman, first. Dozo. So a very warm welcome, Miss Sarah Brightman. I don't think anybody really needs an introduction. You're so famous. But just a very warm welcome to Japan. And just quickly, I would say that you are one of the best-selling soprano singers in the world. And you have millions of records and music. And can I call you, there is a description of your music as a crossover of soprano, classic, and the popular music. So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Also, we will be talking today about your planned Christmas symphony tour in Japan. So a few words about that. And also a few words to your millions of fans in Japan. Thank you very much for coming today. So the floor is yours. Maybe a few introductory words.
Yeah, I think this is working. It's always an absolute pleasure to get back to Japan. And of course, after the last few years that we've all been going through, I hope everyone is well and happy again, and things are getting back to normal. So for me to get back on a plane and happily come to this beautiful country, which I've always felt I have a very special relationship, it's fabulous to be back and seeing you all again. I am coming to Japan at the end of this year to do a Christmas concert. And one of the reasons I put this together was when we were going through the COVID times, I was desperate to do something, create a streaming show and try and employ some musicians that badly needed some money to keep going. So we put the Christmas show together, and it seemed a good idea because it was warm, it was something that everybody would feel familiar with. And it turned out that everybody preferred it to all of the concerts that I had done. So I took this forward and took it to America when America started to open up theatre. It was also very, very successful. And then I've ended up now wanting to do it in Japan and this part of the world. So I'm extremely excited, and also very excited to have YOSHIKI as a very, very special guest on this. He will also be joining me in America for some of the tour and then coming over to Japan. So yet again, we're collaborating, and I'm very happy about this.
Okay, Ilgin, do you have a question, or can I? Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Brightman. My name is Ilgin Yorulmaz. I'm the second vice president of FCCJ, and as Ms. Brightman mentioned, we have a very special guest today. Our second guest needs no introduction. He is a rock star and fashion icon who has been described by Billboard magazine as one of the most influential musicians and composers in Japanese history. His band X Japan has sold over 30 million albums and singles, and he has performed at Madison Square Garden, Wembley Arena, Carnegie Hall, and the world's great concert halls. He is also involved in philanthropy through his foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome our next guest? Okay, we're going to wait 2 more minutes, just in, star style. During that time, if I may ask, Ms. Brightman, you are involved in a lot of humanitarian efforts, and you've just mentioned a couple of them. Can you tell us how these started, and what other things are you involved in?
Well, I work with UNESCO, and I've been an ambassador for UNESCO for quite a few years now. Mm-hmm. And also I've worked a lot in the STEM area because of the space trip that I got involved with, mm-hmm. For girls, really, for young women, mm-hmm. that mm-hmm. are interested in STEM, math, all of these things. And I actually sort of, as life has gone on for me and why I started to get involved, is that you realize how much sort of information and experience you gain by being an artist and moving around the world in the way that we do. And you want to give this to other people. Yeah. And so having gone through a space training and having learnt and understood all of this, and having been a singer and having travelled the world and understanding how geographically it is, the different countries, different cultures, I wanted to be involved in some way. So that is really why I've become involved more in the philanthropic way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So I think we've got to follow the schedule.
Yes, we get the green light here now. Please welcome the one and only Yoshiki-san.
We can share. Okay, we have to stand now. Okay.
It's okay.
じゃあ、お写真、スチールカメラマンの方どうぞ前の方進
いします。こちらからお願いいたします。はい、こちらご覧ください。ありがとうございます。はい、こちらお疲れです。お願いします。
Standing a bit close to each other. もうちょっと近づいて立っていただいて。
気をつけます。はい、こちらお願いいたします。はい、ありがとうございます。
左の方、
お願いします。
YOSHIKIさん。
Well, should I do this thing sometimes, but you know, it's kind of, I don't think it's appropriate. 左の方で。
必要な方いらっしゃったら手を挙げてください。
すみません、お願いします。こちらです。お願いします。ありがとうございます。
その後すみません、会長副会長入ってのお席ありますので、はい、じゃあこの辺で会長副会長入ってもよろしいですかね。もうちょっとかな。はい。いいですか。はい。じゃあイルギンさんと角地さん。じゃあごめんなさい。ちょっと一回皆さんしゃがんでいただいて。はい。角地さん、角地さん。ちょっと待って。はい。would you mind giving yours?
I will come, but the first one.
テレビの方に出演お願いします。テレビの方、
こちら、
はい、必要な方手を挙げてください。
お願いします。こちらです。
必要な方手を挙げてください。なければ終わりにします。
こちらお願いします。はい。
いかがでしょうか。
こちらもお願いします。
はい、あちら出演お願いいたします。他はいかがでしょうか。皆さん出演大丈夫ですかね。はい、じゃああちら右手の方お願いいたします。いかがでしょう。この辺でよろしいですかね。そしたらちょっと一回会長副会長入っていただいて、ちょっともう一回だけフォトセッションごめんなさい。はい、でちょっと4人で、はい。
はい、こちらからお願いいたします。はい、こちらでございます。はい、ネクスト。
はい、お願いします。
はい、お声掛けお願いします。お声掛けお願いします。必要な人。
必要な方手を挙げてください。お願いいたします。
ありがとうございます。
お声掛けよろしいでしょうか。
じゃあこの辺で一旦よろしいでしょうか。はい、じゃあ皆さん、はい、後ろの方に下がってください。お願いいたします。で、お兄さん、今手をお持ちいたします。はい。いつもちょっと野田さんこっちお願いします。おい、
I'm gonna have one more share for me.
Yes, yes. はい。
Gosh, I feel like a celebrity now. Well, thank you very much for waiting, everybody, for the real important aspect of the press conference, which is we're going to ask both of you to have some words for us. But I think, Ilgin, you're going to start with
Yes.
our important, with YOSHIKI-san there.
Yes, so should I say something?
Yes, please. Especially about your collaboration, perhaps, and then I will ask the same question to Ms. Brightman.
Okay, I mean, first of all, thank you so much for inviting us for this amazing, actually my second time to do the press conference here. So first time was amazing too. So how long should I speak? Like just in a nutshell? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Sarah and I met, so I think 2008.
Yes, on a movie set.
Yeah, so a movie called Report the Genetic Opera. It's a Hollywood film. I was the music director for the film. Then Sarah, kindly joined this amazing project. She sang, and also Sarah also acted in the film. Anyway, since then 10 years later, so we worked together a song called Miracle. I joined Sarah's amazing world tour, him. Then, Sarah's gonna be start touring in Las Vegas and Mexico. Then finally coming back to Japan. So I'm such an honor, to participate as a special guest. for Sarah's upcoming tour. So we are announcing today about the our Sarah's Japan tour.
And actually, Yoshiki's just started writing me a very beautiful song, which we first started hearing, and it's going to be absolutely wonderful. So hopefully that will be in the new concert that we do here at the end of the year. So
That'd be so amazing. Yes, I also live in I live in Los Angeles. I just got back. I got here like a few days ago. I was writing Sarah's new song to the last minute. So actually, this is the first time I talked to Sarah about what do you think about the song.
But the nice thing, and you know, you often wonder why particular artists decide to collaborate. And I've always felt with Yoshiki and myself, we're quite, both of us in our own ways, are very unique artists. And a lot of what we do, we start ourselves. And we're both very innovative in our work. And so we sort of match each other pretty well when we do things together. And it's always a very enjoyable thing. So,
I mean, you know, Sarah has amazing, wonderful, I mean, no adjective can describe amazing, beautiful voice. So, I mean, you know, as a composer, it's like it's a dream to work with such, you know, singer such as Sarah. It's just amazing.
thank you.
You've also worked together on a film, isn't it?
Yes,
how was
quite a
that?
while
Yes.
ago. Well, it became one of those sort of cult movies. People still play it and enjoy it.
I see. Yes.
So yes, we did that. But our work takes us all over the world, and of course Yoshiki did this brilliant documentary. Has had that out on Netflix, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm sure everyone's seen it. No, it's been we both do really, really exciting things in our careers. So I'm for myself as an artist, I feel incredibly lucky that I do what I do, and also to be associated with artists such as Yoshiki.
Yes, I'm sure the collaboration, especially from two different cultures. I mean, do you
Yes.
find that a plus or?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it really is. Yes, it brings something unusual to the other.
Okay, fine, yes.
And may I ask about, Yoshiki-san, your Superstar Project X, and I think Ms. Brightman will be a special guest mentor there and coach contestants. Can you tell us a little bit about this, both of you maybe? How was it coaching?
Okay. I live in Los Angeles, but I recently started a project with NTV, Nihon Televi, called YOSHIKI Superstar Project X, which is like audition program. You know, in America there's a American Talent or Voice or Masked Singer, some, you know, kind of Japanese version of that. We have kind of like, we are partner in NTV and myself. Then we already started doing a lot of auditions. You know, it's like 1,000 people. I always wanted to this, you know, the project to be international. So we started asking around some of the, I know, my friend or like people, you know, I know internationally. Then, I just asked Sarah if she could be, you know, part of this as a judge or mentor to, you know, those new artists who are trying to become like a worldwide, you know, to go world, something like that. So, we haven't really discussed about like the small details yet, but
We'll get there. You know, what is lovely about working with young new artists is they're not jaded in any way. They're really, they feed on what everybody wants to tell them so that they have information. And it's actually a real pleasure to do. It's a very positive thing to do.
yes, giving, you know, the new artists like a chance to become superstar, give them dream, you know. We're working a lot with the Gen Z types of the artists.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to open up the conversation a bit by asking perhaps the first question, and then we'll have, I'm sure, questions from the floor. We have already received a lot of questions online, so we'll go through those. But it might be an unusual, perhaps, or a deep question to open the conversation, but can you, either of you or both of you, share with us an anecdote or a memory from your life where music, literally or metaphorically, saved your life or saved somebody's life?
Can I go first? I think that, especially during the last few years where we as artists were not able to perform and could only really do a small amount for ourselves, it actually really sort of hit home about how important music really is to us and how lucky we are to be involved with it and to create it and to give it out. I really missed it at that time, and I'm even more appreciative that I am a musician. And through my life, I've actually had many, many people that have said, you have come to me, fans, people just in the street who've come up and said, you know, my mother had cancer, or I have been very unwell through my life, and your music has kept us going and given us lots of faith. And it's an amazing thing what a cure music can be for people's soul. It's part of our spirit, and I think a world without music would be a very, very poor place indeed. Mm-hmm. Do you think?
And Yoshiki-san, yes?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Then, if I may say, actually, music is helping me right this moment. Yeah, the reason I came here to Japan, of course, you know, this press conference and everything, actually I came back for my mother's memorial ceremony, 49th. So, ね、日本で四十九日、母の四十九日で今回日本に帰ってきて、今こうやって記者会見をやらせていただいてます。So, yeah, my mother passed away last month. Then, yeah, I didn't know what to do, but busy schedule and I started writing music. So that actually song I just wrote, you know, for years, like a lot of like kind of tribute to my mother's melody as well. Uh-huh. So yes, the doing music is actually really helping me. Also, you know, doing music as well as social media has been helping me. It's unbelievable. Usually, you know, social media, you know, they talk about a lot of negativities, but I just expressed my feeling. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I just lost my mother. And then all the fans, you know, start supporting me. They said, music, our music, and my music supported them when they had a hard time. So music is very universal, and the music can, you know, help people, including myself.
Thank you. Thank you for being so open. Thank you so much. Ms. Brightman, I think hymn, you mentioned hymn. I listened to it, and it has a very spiritual kind of name and also thing to it. Are you spiritual, or could we say this is talking to any kind of, you know, person, please?
Well, that's quite a broad question. I think we all are. We come into this world, and it's an extraordinary event, and then we leave it, and everything that happens is just quite an amazing thing. So I think everybody's spirits are. We're all spiritual. I don't really know. It's such a deep question. Yes. I don't think I could answer. But I think we all know.
We all know.
We all know. So.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, especially as a musician, when you can use that within your music, it's a very lovely thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe we should throw up.
Yes, if I may please ask anyone who has a question or comment, please come to the microphone, either one. State your name and affiliation, and please ask your question. Anybody? Yes, please.
Panoramic News, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming here, and I offer my condolences for your loss. And I have 4 CDs of Sarah in my car. When I play It's a Beautiful Day, I don't know why I speed up, so I try not to play it in the downtown. It gives very positive energy, really. So my question is, both of you, please, what is your success? What's the secret of success for you in life and music? Just maybe one word or very few words. Thank you very much.
For me, it's quite a simple one. It's just having a passion for life, therefore a passion for what I do, which is music. It's nothing really works without a real passion for it, and that's what I would call the secret of my personal success.
Well, after Sarah, I don't know if I'm successful or not. I mean, she's like a worldwide superstar. So I'm trying to get there.
Stop it, Yoshiki. You're huge.
Okay, thank you. Well, I mean, make a lot of effort, It doesn't come like, easily. Working really, really hard. At the same time, trying to help people. That, I think that's the thing, through music. So, I do art with charity as well, so as Sarah. Helping people helps me. The thing helps me. I think same thing, trying to make people happy, that bring you success. It's like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's like, so I wish everybody to get, become successful. That kind of mentality as well as act, bring you success. Successful, yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions from the floor? Yes, please, sir.
One from Xinhua News Agency. My question is for Ms. Brightman. It has been 14 years since you performed with the Chinese singer Liu Huan at the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympic Games. So after so many years, how special is it for you to sing in front of maybe so many spectators at the Birds Nest Stadium and maybe 5 billion people, TV viewers across the globe? Thank you very much.
Okay. You're talking about the Chinese Olympics, how
yes, how special it is for you to sing.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly was a sort of honor to be asked, because I think I was the only Western artist to have performed on that opening show. I didn't really know what to expect, but the fact that so many countries had come together to create the opening of that show, that was what was so special about it, and to be a part of it when I got there was an incredible feeling, because down below I would see an English person, then I would see a Japanese person, I would see an Australian person, all working together to make all these Chinese people do all their acrobats and their dancing and their singing and everything. So it was a world effort. So it was in many ways a sort of highlight of my life. It was wonderful.
And I believe you're also the only singer who actually sang in 2 Olympics, not just one, Beijing
the two theme
and
songs.
Barcelona Olympics, right?
Yes.
Amazing feat.
But I will have to say that I only did the Barcelona Olympics because dear Gloria Estefan, who was meant to be doing it, she had a very bad accident, and so I came in her place. So it wasn't originally meant to be that way. She was meant to be there, but
The universe.
I got there, the universe.
Exactly. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, we have some questions online, and if I may continue with those. This is a question for both of you. It's from Fred Varco, who is a freelance journalist. He's asking, both of you have been involved in what's called crossover music, combining pop or rock with classical music. How difficult was that, and what other types of crossover would you like to try? And who are your favorite crossover artists?
It's always the thing about crossover, and this is why I always get confused about it, is that myself, and I'm sure it is with Yoshiki as well, what we write and what we sing it comes very naturally just because we're interested in all sorts of genres of music. And we don't specifically go out and say, okay, I'm going to put a bit of rock with a bit of pop here and then a bit of classical and a bit of jazz and blah. It doesn't work like that. You just get into a tune or something that's going on in your head and you have an idea for it and you start. And I think probably, I mean, we've been blessed living in this golden time of music up to now, that all the things that we've listened to in our past that have been a part of the tapestry of our life sort of come together when it comes to being creative. So to try and put it into a word saying crossover, I never really can answer the question.
Yeah.
I agree, 1,000%. Yes, I started playing classical piano when I was 4 years old. Then started playing rock drums when I was 10. I didn't think about I'm really doing classical music or rock. Just creating music. I think, we just create music. The people decide which genre. This could be, rock, pop, hip hop, EDM, blah, 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 right? So, when I say rock is kind of like a lifestyle. It doesn't have to be like a music genre. So yeah, I do also classical music to rock music, and then everything in between. But I just try to create, beautiful music to touch people's heart, regardless genre. So I think it's good music and then not good music, if there's a genre.
You're right about that.
And who might be your favorite stars then, or musicians? Because that's also part of the question. Apart from crossover, let's not get into the crossover. If that's not a kind of label you want to be associated with, who would be your inspirations? Both of you?
Again,
Each
a
other?
very broad question.
I would have guessed David Bowie or Pink Floyd, just because you mentioned space.
Way back.
Right.
Yes, way back. Is it Tommy Greenway? From the,
Tommy Greenway?
yes.
Yes.
From the, I'm having blanks here. I'm very jet lagged.
No worries. Perhaps you want to answer. And
David
you can-
Bowie. David Bowie, yes.
Definitely.
It's very inspirational.
Mhm.
Can be Beethoven, Bach,
Ah,
and
of course.
yeah. Or at that time I like
Mhm.
Beethoven, Bach, Chopin, and Sex Pistols, right?
Oh.
Just like combination. Or
Combination.
Kiss.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
just the combination of all those.
And if I may ask about the Yoshiki's Superstar Project X, what kind of I think it's going to be a band coming together. Is it right? Could you tell us a little bit and what kind of music or band?
We are creating two groups. One's like a dance group, boys group. Dance group.
Okay.
One's kind of rock band, but we are trying to combine both of them at the same time. So it's a challenge, but it's very it's worth it. Yeah. So we usually a lot of auditions are more like a singer or dancer, but we are auditioning drummer, guitar player, yeah, can be violinist, yeah, pretty much everything.
Everything. And anybody can audition then in this,
Yes.
irrespective.
Also, that one is almost no nationality limit or no age limit. So.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the floor so far? Yes,
yeah.
please.
Johnny Greenwood, I was talking about. Johnny
Pema
Greenwood.
Gyalpo,
Johnny
freelancer, originally from Tibet.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was just, hello.
I'm not a great fan of music, but I read in the paper that YOSHIKI made a lot of donations even to this Ukraine people. So I wanted just to come and see, because I myself was a refugee when I was 7 years old. Now, my question is, if I have understood properly, Miss Sarah Brightman, you sang at the Olympics, Peking Olympics. And many of us were trying to tell the people, the world, about the ongoing genocide in Ukraine, Urumqi, in Tibet, and in Uyghur. Did you have any feelings for them? What made you go?
What made me go to China?
Yes, to encourage them. Because from our side, we feel that it was many people, many famous people, felt that it'll be kind of giving encouragement to the Chinese. And especially by using the so-called national minorities in the Olympics. But of course, you must have your own, some reason. So I was just wondering what made you go.
Well, I'd always been an artist in China for many years. I'm not political in any way. Of course, I may have my own personal feelings, but I went purely peacefully as an artist that was going there to sing. And I was involved, as I said, with many other people who were from everywhere else in the world trying to put this together. And that is what I did. There was nothing more to it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyway, I'm not here to argue with you. I just wanted
okay.
to know what made you go there.
No, you had
Thank you.
absolutely every right to ask the question.
Thank you, and thank you for your answer. Thank you very much. Any other questions so far?
I've just got one
Yes.
about the whole collab. You know, I love this collaboration, and also, you know, the different parts of music, dance. Is that the future of music? You know, as we get into the young, you know, the new generations, and you know, as we really need, I think, this kind of breakthroughs, or what, you know, this freedom of. So, any comments on how for young people?
Well, I'm very interested because music does change. And I'm very interested to see really what the next change is going to be. I don't know what it is. Do you? Maybe you're more into the writing than I am, but there is going to be a change, and I'm quite excited about it, but I can't feel it yet.
Interesting. I mean, you've collaborated a lot of amazing artists, Sarah. So, I mean, you're kind of like a trailblazer in any aspect. So, what made you? I became an interviewer today. What made you do to collaborate all those amazing artists? Including myself. I'm not saying I'm amazing. Just all those artists. And then, how was that after collaboration? What changed your prospect of the I don't say genre or that. Yeah, you collaborate with so many amazing artists.
Yes, but I think we're about to change into a different type of music. It's a little bit like when the Beatles came in after the whole rock and roll era and the eras that we had before. And I'm just very interested to know what that is going to be, because it's about to change. So I wondered if you come across anything.
I think as a composer and musician, I'm always learning. So get there a lot of all those, influence from younger generations or any generations or any country, any people. So I think this kind of collaboration things I think nothing but good. So yeah, I encourage them for the new generation people to do that. So I think it's happening, regardless. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is this whole globalization and so much of influence, people living in different countries. And I think it's the benefit, isn't it? I mean, this kind of wonderful collaborations.
Yes.
think
the whole
collaboration became
richness of it.
easier than ever,
Than
right?
before,
Because of the
right.
internet and everything. Yeah.
Can I just elaborate, like, how does the idea come out, though? Does it come from either one of you, or this one spark of maybe idea to do this or that? Is it something you talk about, or one calls another in the middle of the night and says...
No, I think it's a very hard thing with musicians to know, to be specific on what inspires. Sometimes one artist can just inspire another one to want to do a particular thing they don't normally do. I remember I was involved with Phantom of the Opera many years ago and was in fact a muse for it. And my then husband that wrote it, he hadn't really written for the classical voice really before. And me just being around him, we were together then as partners, but just around him singing and doing my singing scales got him really into the understanding of how to write for a more classical voice. So then he started things like Requiem and Phantom, and actually ever since then he's written differently to how he did before. So, you know, different artists can bring different things to others. We're all threaded together somehow.
Very good, yes.
Right. If there's no more questions from the floor, could... is
Just
there
on
anything
that,
online?
on that
Yes,
actually
so the
musical
final-
question, if I may, there's another question that came up from Fred Varco to Yoshiki-san. Do you like musicals? Have you written any, or do you want to write one? And would you like to do a rock album with Sarah? Is the question.
I mean, that'd be amazing. Yes. Yeah, I'm very interested in doing the musical as well. You know, it might be related to collaboration. It's like, you know, expand your horizon. At the same time, go beyond your comfort zone, right? Being a classical artist or being rock artist, sometimes, you know, people may think if we do this, my fans gonna hate us or not, or they. I think it's just, you should go, you know, yeah, I'm not saying that, you know, it's uncomfortable to do anything beyond your genre, but I think that's, again, the collaboration is nothing but good. And what was the question, sorry?
Do you like musicals? Have you
Yes,
written,
yes.
or do you want to write one?
Yes,
And rock album?
yeah, I mean, Phantom of the Opera, I saw that, of course, you know, very inspirational. And then, yeah, I would love to, you know, compose musical.
You don't have to like musicals. I didn't for years. I appreciated them, but I didn't really enjoy going to them. And often now I don't enjoy going to them. I'd rather go and see an opera or a rock concert. But and people always laugh at me. They say, "What are you talking about? You're the grande dame of musicals." And I go, "Well, you know,
You're the muse of Phantom of the Opera. Exactly.
Maybe we can combine rock, concert, and musical at the same time, you know? Like,
Yeah.
yes."
yeah,
Yeah.
something innovative.
And one more question, if I may, from Fred, is to Sarah. What do you know about Japanese music or artists and ex-Japan? Of course, he's asking.
Well, I know ex-Japan. I do know ex-Japan. Knowing Yoshiki here, I don't know a huge amount. I should know more, but because I'm not here all the time, and some of it doesn't reach to where I am. I'm not involved. If I was here more, I would understand it more. But you know, of course, lots of Japanese music you get from the anime, which is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. So I know a huge amount of music from anime. So.
Yeah, when I was talking to Sarah, we talked about some animation. You know,
Yes.
Sarah was kind of interested in.
Yes.
So-
Yes, I gave you a song, didn't I?
Ms. Brightman mentioned something important, though. I mean, it's hard for the Japanese artists, perhaps, except yourself, Yoshiki-san, to reach out to these international audiences. What is it that is missing, or what is it that they have to consider? Could you perhaps elaborate, Yoshiki-san?
Oh,
Yes. Or either of you?
I think there's a huge amount in Japanese music that could be universal. It just hasn't been tapped quite yet. I mean, the fact, as I said, that anime is all those kids growing up through the anime times, all of them know all of that music. They can sing them in Japanese.
Yes.
My niece, who loved all of them, she sings them. So I think that it's just a matter of time. I mean, Yoshiki, of course, has already done it, and it's just a matter of time before we become fused even more, our world, and it becomes smaller and smaller, that this will happen.
That's a very good question. Being in Japan, becoming superstar in Japan, make you feel very comfortable. Japan is still the second biggest market in terms of music. GDP number 3. But so if you become successful in Japan, you don't really have to go overseas. So also make you feel very comfortable. So I got successful playing Tokyo Dome or something about 20 years ago. So then going to US, I have to start all over again. Like wow, it was such a still challenge, but it's really worth it. I think there are a lot of amazing Japanese artists. Not only that doesn't apply to only Japan. A lot of countries in Asia or anywhere in the world. So, but go beyond that, beyond your comfort zone, is very important, especially this kind of time and this kind of, So I really encourage all those artists to just, try to get the word. So.
Thank you. Do you have a question?
No, not really. I mean, I would love to give the opportunity to the audience.
Any questions online?
if there's
Sorry,
one.
on the floor or comments? There is a question from just maybe the last 2 questions, if that's okay. From one of our associate members, Tom O'Sullivan. He's saying, I'm a huge admirer of Sarah's, and her beautiful voice has given me a lot of comfort over the years. What was it like to sing with Andrea Bocelli? And could you please sing a few lines of Time to Say Goodbye or Pai Jesu for all of those injured in the war in Ukraine? It's a very special request, I'm afraid.
I know, I don't think I could sing anything at the moment with all my
Sure.
jet lag. What was the question? About
how was it
working
like
with Andrea.
Andrea,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Bocelli.
Gosh, it was a long time ago. Andrea, at the time, he was a fairly new artist. And I mean, now he's become this massive, massive star. So I don't really know him anymore. But then he was very sweet and very keen to get his career going. And he had this wonderful, his voice at that point, I know he's really worked on his voice. It kind of had this sort of educated but quite gruff Italianate way of singing, which was what was so appealing about him, because there was something very vulnerable about his voice. He hadn't finished his training. So I actually really liked the way he was in the old days. I have no idea what he is like now. I think it's become much more polished, his career. But I was very, very glad that I was there at the beginning of all of that.
Mm-hmm. So the final 2 questions, if I may. One is very short, from Stephen Cha. Do you have ongoing plan for Asia tour through Japan, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan? I guess both of you.
Do you?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. This Sarah's tour, that's pretty much like my first Japan tour. I mean, I have my own tour a little bit, not tour, I play in Tokyo, but this is pretty much first time I'm going to, Osaka and Nagoya, so
Yes.
in, I don't know, 5-6 years, something like that. So I'm
Yes,
really
where are we going? We're going to Taiwan and where? I think
Why
all
not?
over the place. Where are my notes?
I mean, well, we don't have an announced Asia tour
Yes.
So,
No, I don't have
mean,
anything here.
You know,
I just have all the. Yes,
yeah.
I know, but there are lots. There are lots of places we're going on to. If you would like to come with me.
Sure.
So you're seeing the negotiation here.
So we're deciding our schedule
Over
during the
this table.
press conference. Yeah, that, you know, that kind of thing happens, right?
You can't get out of it now because you said it out.
Exactly. Yeah, but you know, the COVID in the past 2 years, right? So we are kind of had to stay home. I don't know if it's completely over yet, but it's kind of like we are opening up, you know, it's kind of like tours, just, you know, pretty new to me. You know, I have not performed past 3 years. Actually, my last performance was I played with Kiss in Tokyo Dome. This last 2019 December, and Osaka Dome. That was my last performance. You know, I mean,
That's a while back, isn't it?
yeah.
Yes.
Then everything, you know, started. So in terms of concert, so there have been a few shows coming this August, but I'm really looking forward to tour with Sarah. I mean, yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Yes. And one final question from me. We started with a deep question. I'm so sorry. I'm a journalist, so I do ask these deep questions. But Ms. Brightman, you joined a dance troupe, I guess, Penn's People,
Yes.
when you were 16.
Yes.
And then another one called Hot Gossip. And Yoshiki-san, you come from Chiba, and you know, you built up this as the leader of ex-Japan. What would you, both of you, advise to your, or say to your 16-year-old self? Think about that time. And now that you have all this experience and knowledge.
I think, well, I was born in 1960, so the time that I was brought up as an artist, learning to dance, learning to sing, learning to act, it was all about to work as hard as you possibly could and to be as good as you possibly could in the area that you had talent. It wasn't, to become famous was a bonus, but you didn't even think about becoming famous. It seemed so out there. It was just about being really good at what you did. And I think that's where you have to start when you're talking to younger artists, because if the fame comes in front of everything, it's not going to work because you're going to be really disappointed. So it's really all about the hard work and how much you're prepared to put into it.
Yoshiki-san?
To 16 years old,
Yes.
Yoshiki.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay, so first of all, you know, I have 3 things, if I could tell 16 years Yoshiki. One, you know, I play drums really hard. So then I have been playing really hard. I had a neck surgery twice. So I have the artificial disc, disc in my neck. So I was gonna say, take it easy. 2, spend more time with your family, you know, while you can. Love your father. I already lost my father at that time, but love your mother. 3, study English because I learned English when I became much older. So at that time I had zero idea I was going to be even doing this kind of press conference in front of amazing people in English. So those 3 things.
You both done very good. Thank you so much. And would you
Yes,
like to say a few words to close? Yes.
Very wonderful comments that I think came out because we're all talking to the journalists, and so the message is clear, and we will take it to the public. And I just want to thank you very much for coming. I know you're jet lagged. Did you come yesterday? Did you arrive yesterday?
Yes.
So it's really very, very thankful that you made your time for us today. In a token of appreciation, you become a member of our Foreign Correspondents Club. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you.
Very honoured. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in thanking
So
the 2 super artists.
become member?
Thank you.
Yes.
Really?
It's wonderful.
Thank you. But
Well, that means I can sit there and ask people
Absolutely.
next time.
Questions.
Really?
We also want you to promise us perhaps to come and sing at our club, perhaps, just like you're doing morning.
I'm sure we will.
Yes,
Oh,
morning and
Yes.
evening concerts.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
you.
I
both
can
of
bring the
you.
piano
Because
next
you
time.
will be here for your Christmas symphony concert, right? You'll be back.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.